In 1974, Ray Kroc, the man who built the McDonald's empire, sat down for beers with an MBA class at the University of Texas. After the lecture, Kroc looked at the group of future executives and asked what business they thought he was in. The students laughed, assuming Kroc was joking. Finally, one of them shouted that everyone on Earth knew he was in the hamburger business. Kroc clarified that while he sold hamburgers, his actual business was real estate. The franchises were merely a way to fund the acquisition of the land beneath the stores. Even these graduate students had confused the daily operation, the product being sold, with the underlying engine of wealth. If you apply that same question to your own life, you might find the answer is just as elusive. What is your business? Answering with a job title like engineer or banker is an error. You are describing your profession, which is not the same thing as the business you own. When your primary focus is a paycheck, your effort is diverted. Your labor enriches the company owners, the government takes its share through taxes, and the banks claim the rest through debt. By the time the bills are paid, the business that belongs to you is left with zero. You are trapped in a cycle of working for everyone but yourself. Kroc's success came from separating what he did for money from the permanent assets he bought with that money. To replicate that, you have to establish a clear boundary between your daily labor and your personal holdings. This doesn't mean leaving your profession. You still need that job to generate the cash flow required for your survival. In financial terms, your personal business lives entirely within your asset column. It is a separate world from your income and your expenses. Most people mistakenly fill this column with things that drain cash, like a bigger house or a new car. Because these require monthly payments for interest and upkeep, they function as liabilities. A true asset is something that generates income without your physical presence. This includes things like stocks, bonds, income-producing real estate, or royalties from intellectual property. Real financial security is never found in the size of a salary. It is found in the depth and output of this specific column. To grow this column, you have to stop treating a dollar as a currency to be spent. Every dollar you acquire must be viewed as an employee. These employees are unstoppable. They don't need sleep, they never take breaks, and they work for you 24 hours a day, every day. For this system to work, there is a hard constraint. Once a dollar enters the asset column, it can never be allowed to leave. The only job of these captive dollars is to produce more dollars, expanding your workforce without any additional effort on your part. Wealth is the measure of your financial survivability, how long you could last if you stopped working today. That number is determined by the size and output of this tireless, automated workforce. People often buy the same things, but the timing of those purchases determines whether they stay poor or grow rich. The average person buys a new car or an expensive vacation impulsively on credit. They're paying for those toys with their future labor and their own blood and sweat. The financially intelligent person delays those rewards. They direct all their resources into building the asset column until it can stand on its own. The difference isn't the desire for luxury, it's the strategic patience to wait until you can afford it without working for it. The asset column buys the luxury. When the money generated by your investments, not your paycheck, pays for your lifestyle, you have reached the payoff. True financial freedom is the exact moment your assets sustain you without you having to trade another hour of your time. Be a great employee during your working hours, but the moment you clock out, get to work minding your own business.